let's get a reaction from you from the front page of what the Taifa Leo says. Yeah? Watofautiana. What I'm talking about, vigogo wa upinzani watoa kauli kinzani kuhusu wakati mwafaka wa kutaja mgombeaji, and that they appear to be reading from different scripts and not agreeing on various timelines or outlooks. What's your reaction to this?
Because as Rigathi Gachagua said yesterday, the day before yesterday, if you now unveil this particular person now, of course, Ruto will train his guns on him. And that is why when it appeared like the United Opposition was settling on Kalonzo Musyoka, that's why President Ruto, trained all his guns on Kalonzo Musyoka. And so I think, and if you refer to some history, when Moi was president, I don't know where you people were then, but I know, I remember, because I think I was still following politics a bit. Moi was saying, kwa nini hawataki kutaja ni nani wanaleta ili tujue ni ndume gani wananiogopa, because of course anybody would want to know whom their competitor is going to be, so that you can start working on them. Zero in.
So it's strategic to, this is all strategic. So it shouldn't, nobody should be worried about the united opposition. This shouldn't cause any... Absolutely. Okay.
No one should be worried that the united opposition will not remain united. It will remain united, but we must hold that card very close to our chests.
How close is too close? Because again, the dates were very varying. Rigathi Gachagua is a proponent of in August, let us know, which I think is a bit too close for comfort. On the other hand, Kalonzo Musyoka is like, by March, we should have given you a presidential candidate.
In fact, my personal view should be that we should not unveil this particular candidate this year. Personally, if I was to be asked, I would go for February next year.
Oh.
If I were the one to give the determination and the guidance, I would say February, at the earliest, February next year, if not March next year, so that you do not give President Ruto and his supporters, time to deconstruct that particular candidate. And so it is very strategic that you do not unveil him or her now. Because of course this is somebody who is supposed to be running against a sitting president. A sitting president who has all the resources, has the machinery of government, has the advantage of NIS, intelligence reports every morning. Who can come up with very many propaganda and schemes against that particular candidate, so that by the time we are going for elections, then this candidate has been smeared with every type of mud, if you can say so, that there can be in this country and outside this country. So we shouldn't.
Leave it for later. What are your thoughts? Because in my mind, I'm like, on the flip side, does it also give enough time for said candidates to really amp up the necessary support and push for their presidency? Right. Do you hold the same view?
And to inspire confidence in the public, in all voters in Kenya. So that would be my question then. Is it enough time to campaign, given that essentially the president is almost already in campaign mode, has been in campaign mode, so has the united opposition, but the president is campaigning for himself. It's clear, it's set. So what he's doing is pushing towards a certain candidate, that is President William Ruto. Does that now disadvantage the united opposition? Because it's not one person. It's just, we are campaigning for a united opposition. But who are united opposition? But where are united opposition?
I think to answer that question, I'll still refer you back to history. When Raila Amolo Odinga, the late Raila Amolo Odinga, God rest his soul in peace, Said Kibaki Tosha in 2002. I may not remember at exactly what time he said Kibaki Tosha, but it was
early in the year.
Near the. I mean, we were not very far from elections.
Yes.
What was happening then, and what should happen now, or is happening now? What was happening then was that there were different formations, each of them building their support. I mean, if you remember that time, the late Mwai Kibaki, God rest his soul in peace also, was in a particular formation with the late Kijana Wamalwa and the Charity Gilu, under what they used to call NAK.
Oh,
then,
okay.
yes. Then, of course, before then, Raila Odinga with his NDP had joined KANU. And they were together. But then when KANU broke away, Raila Amolo Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, George Saitoti, I think before George Saitoti died, this breakaway group formed what was later known as LDP. So there was LDP, there was NAK. Each one of them was building their formations so that everybody, though belonging to different formations, were agreed that they were going to go against Moi. So they only needed to come up with one presidential candidate. That's the same thing we are doing now. That Rigathi Gachagua is consolidating his support base. Kalonzo Musyoka is consolidating his support base. I mean, Eugene Wamalwa is consolidating his support base. Fred Matiang'i is consolidating his support base. George Natembeya is consolidating his support base. Mother Karua is consolidating her support base. And all these bases are agreed that Ruto is going to be a one-term president. So when they finally come together and now come up with one presidential candidate to represent all these bases, it should not be a problem. Everybody will embrace the united opposition's, flag bearer. So for now, what is important is that everybody consolidates their base against William Ruto.
So this is quick reaction to the reality of what Kenyans are dealing with vis-a-vis what leadership perhaps is missing. You know, they don't feel like they're being heard by leadership. You're in leadership, so what's your reaction to what Kenyans are saying?
Thank you. And it's important for me to make the observation and to say that from the few Kenyans that you have actually featured there, I've not heard any of them, telling us that they're satisfied with how government is being ran. And I think as a response to your question, Janet, I think it's important that we say, because we hear President Ruto saying every day, every time, Mariam, that we don't have any plan. We have very many plans. But then we are not able to implement them because, of course, we are not running government. By running government, we mean that, when you are running government, you are the one that is managing public resources. You are the one that has been entrusted with, doing what a government should do. So, I hear President Ruto every day. I heard him even as late as yesterday saying that we should say what we are doing in construction, about roads, about cost of living. And I think that is a big joke. What can I do? In opposition.
You're a senator, you can legislate.
Yes, I can legislate, yes. But at the end of the day, I'm not the one that is going to implement this. And how do you legislate again, Mariam? That for you to make in a law